Joining us from Beirut is Najat Saliba. She's an independent member of the Lebanese parliament and a professor in chemistry at the American University of Beirut. Hezbollah's position has always been that it's a defence against Israel in the national interest. Do you have any sympathy with that position?
Well, the cabinet has clearly said that there is no cover-up for any military action that Hezbollah is doing. Hezbollah chose to push Lebanon into this war. We could have been on the side, just looking at what's happening regionally without really being in the middle of this whole mess. So we stand by the government and by the decisions of the government to ask Hezbollah to turn its weapons all to the Lebanese armed forces, so that the call for peace and the call for war would be only in the hands of the government, including the Lebanese armed forces.
From your position, though, why didn't Hezbollah give up their weapons?
Hezbollah did not give its weapons because it's actually taken orders not from Lebanon and not from the Lebanese government, but from the Revolutionary Guards of Iran. And this is the problem. Iran has fueled its proxy in Lebanon, and it has given it enough weapons and artillery, and it's now using them against the Lebanese people and, of course, against Israel. But we believe that the main thing here is that Hezbollah is working for the benefit of Iran. It's working also with the guards of Iran on the ground, and it's actually working against the sovereignty of the country and against the Lebanese villages and people who are fleeing their homes. And they are in the millions who do not have any shelter above their head, and they continue to do what the government is asking them not to do, and they continue to cause a lot of displacement of people from the Zahrani area and from the Litani area as well.
But the Hezbollah position, like I say, has always been very, very clear that Israel started this occupation in 1982, and that's why Hezbollah came into being, that they must hold on to their weapons in order to be able to be the defence. Is that a failure, then, do you think, of the Lebanese army? Why isn't the Lebanese army involved in any of this?
I think there was an establishment who have agreed to have a proxy inside the country. There was a group of corrupt people who decided to go and do the work on corrupt files and corrupt services, as long as they turn a blind eye on the work of Hezbollah. Hezbollah came to exist just because there was a vacuum in the government. There was a vacuum in the way government was working. It was mostly a consensus democracy where everybody agrees to do the work in fragmentation. And this is a problem that we have endured for 40 years. Luckily, we have a cabinet right now who is saying that we want to implement the constitution, we want to build a state, and for us to build a state, there is no way that we can accept two armies at the same time, one army working for Iran and one army trying to work for the government. And this is where the problem is. For the past years, they even covered up for the work of Hezbollah in the statement of the cabinet once it's formed. And this was a disaster, and this has led us to the complete destruction and to the complete economic collapse, because the establishment has only worked for their own benefit, for their own parties, never worked for the government. We call on everybody to really stand by the government right now, because this is the first time in the history of Lebanon, in the recent history of Lebanon, that we have a government that is trying to work for the benefit of the people and the benefit of the state.
Your own president, Joseph Aoun, when he was asked by Lindsey Graham, a senior Republican, to condemn Hezbollah as being terrorists, said they are not terrorists in the Lebanese context. It's more complicated than that. They are a political party as well, so you have to deal with them.
That's what the cabinet also said. We lift any support on their military actions, but we allow them to continue if they wish as a political party. If they want to work within the Lebanese government and under the law as a political party, the cabinet has been clear on this stand, as well as the president. Of course, all parties in Lebanon can work under the same law equally and with equity to actually allow political work. But to allow military work, this should not be the case in any of the countries that we have seen in the world. There is no possibility to have two armies, two military actions, or a militia and a local and national force working opposite to each other in order for peace to be held. There is no way we can have peace if the militia of Iran is going to continue to work on its own as
Right.
Iran pleases and not the Lebanese people.
Najat Saliba, thank you so much for your thoughts. Now, the intent